Okay, so it's been about a week, 1 week since I've transplanted these, and let's see what's happened. And I have to say before we start, I'm a little disappointed with this. Now, if you remember from the last video, these were taken out of this system here and put in some fresh water, new water right here on top. Let me show you what we've got here. Now, this one here looks like it's leaning over, but only yesterday this was fluffed up pretty good. And this one here, see, he looks like he's doing pretty good. And this one here died. Now, you wonder what was the cause of that. The water here is 65 degrees, so you would think it's not because of lack of oxygen or anything like that. But you can get a little closer look at that if it'll focus. See, it just didn't do well. And let's pull this one out. If we can get this a little closer here, let's get it under some better lighting. I think it's focused, but let me pull this out and let's see what's happened here. If you can see these roots, see the bottom here. If this will focus, let me get in the way here. On the bottom here, see, these are a little blackish. See, as I'm pulling these out, it's a little blackish, and they're not nice and white, but that indicates to me that there's some kind of fungus or something that's attacked this. Now, where would that fungus come from? That's the question. And maybe it was already here, and it just continued. And so that says that, I guess that what that says is that this can transfer into where you're going. Now, I've done this before where you put the plants in some better environment and they perk right up, but this one didn't. Now, going back over here, I just put that back in there, but now see this one here looks like it's doing quite well. Let me get out here into the better lighting. See, this one looks like it's going quite well, and you can see how it's going above the top of the cup there. It's doing well. If you look here along the sides, well, I don't want to pull this one out, but anyway, this one's doing well, and it doesn't show any sign that it's getting sick. So, you know, I'm not sure. So let's put this one back. I'm not sure what to make of that. And again, remember, the premise was that there's something in this water, or there's something lacking in this water, with these goldfish in it, that is not healthy for these fish. There's something about recirculating the water continually that does that, even though the pH and the dissolved solids are still within range. So it might be interesting to note where that plant came from. It came out of that cup that had a whole bunch of little plants in it, and that cup is now wilting, and I'll show you that in a minute. But we pulled one plant out of there and sandwiched it in between the furnace batting pieces, and then put it in that planter with the pink lid on it. And now it is doing better than any of the other plants, but the little planter that I pulled it out of, those plants are now dying off, which seems a little odd, but pulling it out of that little planter pot seems to have saved it for some reason. Well, I'm not sure what's doing this, but I'm going to try to get a chemical kit and measure it. Now, the other thing that's interesting, remember when I pulled some of the plants, I pulled it out of this one. You know, some of these plants were pulled out of here and put in, and these were taken out of here. Now this one at the time was looking pretty good, but just a couple of days ago, out of the blue, see, it started dying off. It's not looking very good at all. Now that is a complete surprise, because I didn't do anything to this one. It's just not feeling very good. Now if you look over here at this, you see that celery plant. See, it's alive, but it's not doing well. It's been sitting in here for a few months. And as you can see, the roots look terrible. So I'm thinking I've got an attack of some kind of pythium going on here. But generally, if you've got your nutrient levels right and the water is cool, you don't get pythium problems. Now, let me go back over to here to this. And remember that video I just did about planting seeds underwater. Let's have a look at this one. Now, this is like, I think, 4 or 5 days since I planted them. Now let's get this focus, come on. There, and you can see that they're definitely growing, and there's a couple of seeds, like right in here. Let's see if I can get real close. But right in there, see these that are coming up, that area? They sprouted from under the water. So they're, you know, you can do that. And see, if you look at the outside here, well, you can't see anything. But if you look close, you can kind of see there's some roots in there starting to spread around. But anyway, now the difference here is that these are from seeds and fresh water, and these were not from seeds, but it was fresh water. So something must have carried over. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this one up on this platform under the lights, probably over there where there's room, and see how it does. Now if you look at this, there's several plants in there, so I'll let them grow a little bit bigger than that, and then we'll thin them out. But that's what's happened. This is I don't know, I'll have to get a chemical kit and figure out what is it in this water that's plants just don't like. There's either too much of something or not enough of something that I just can't measure. One quick little addition. This is the next day after we put these under the lights here, and as you can see, they're doing quite well. A little more growth on these, and we'll be transplanting them.